Gentlemen, this is the day when Europa Universalis 5 is released. This is 4th of November. It's actually around 6 p.m. Central European time. And finally, me, an average player, like many of you I believe, I mean, you can actually better than me, but you are an average from the perspective of developers. We got access to Europa Universalis 5 and we can finally play that game. Supposedly beautiful game. So let's find out. Okay, so I made a poll on my account, on my channel. You selected France, but honestly, I don't think it's even possible for me to manage that country. So before I actually jump and play France, I would like to try the tutorial countries. I think there's 4 of them, as far as I remember from development diaries about the onboarding system. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's first read everything, as I always do. So welcome to Europa Universalis 5. That's clear. Europa Universalis 5 is a deep historical grand strategy game about the fate of nations during the late Middle Ages and early modern period, as they vie for global power, for war, diplomacy, colonization, and social and economic change. If you are new to Europa Universalis and its mechanics, we suggest selecting one of the recommended countries. Or if you are an already experienced world leader and want to skip the tutorial, click the select any country option. I mean, they meant content creators which got access 3 months ago. That means the world leader. I think so. Okay, but by the way, let's keep the traditions going. So I'm gonna give you now the quote, like I always do. I just need to find it. So the first quote on my list is: "Always do whatever you can to keep your superior from making a mistake." Colonel Paul Magdi Robinet. That's it. That's the quote. Let me close that. Try to recall it at the very end of the episode. So play with a recommended country. What do we have here? Oh, we have more than 4. We have 6 countries to select from. Alright. So they propose Norway as a politically oriented country. Then we have Castile as expansion, Holland economy. Naples is also politics. I absolutely adore that. Well, cross. Isn't that the Kingdom of Jerusalem cross? Then we have Hungary, which is focused heavily on economy, and Ottomans, which are focused on expansion. And well, from these countries, definitely Ottoman seems to be quite interesting. I'm just not a huge fan of that region over there, Anatolia, Middle East, and so on. But yes, that could be the option. Hungary, it certainly will be involved in European affairs, but also never was much into Hungarian history. Holland, interesting choice. Very small country. The focus is on economy though, so I'm just worried I might be stuck in such a small patch of land, being unable to really expand. So I don't know. Naples seems to be a bit too hard for me, especially with that geopolitical placement. Castile was recommended also in Europa Universalis 4. Might be doable for me. Problem is that I was never a huge fan of Iberian Peninsula as well. So yeah, you see a lot of problems. I'm a fan of France. I'm a fan of England. I'm a fan of Brandenburg. Yeah, general HRE. Maybe northern Italy as well. So from these recommended countries, I would like to try. I'm thinking Castile or Ottomans. These 2 countries are definitely interesting. I might also start 2 series. So I would like to take Ottomans with the focus on expansion, and I could also take for example Holland, which will be focused on economy, and we could also try another series with one country focused primarily on politics. Does it make sense though? I don't know. I really don't know. So, which one we should select? Ottomans or Castile? Who we are going to fight here? So we have Portugal. We also have some southern, I guess, Islamists. There is Aragon as well. I don't know whether we'll be asked to conquer them or not. This is a great question. Ottomans start really small. That's because, well, we start in the beginning of the 14th century, so they are not really that much powerful. But if we want to focus on expansion, that could be the good option. Definitely. So these two countries, which one is better, Castile or Ottomans? I have to make a choice though. So, I kind of like Castile. I could play them. We would focus, of course, quite a lot on colonization. Is it something I'm really into at the very beginning? I don't think so. Okay, let's take Ottomans, you know. Let's grab them. Beylik of the Ottomans. Country focus. The Ottomans are consolidating their position as one of the most powerful beyliks, the Turkish warlords, on the rise, eager to secure vital territories along the Bosphorus coast and the Anatolian highlands. There have been some recent conquests along the border with Byzantium, which stands as the main enemy for the West to defeat. Gaining dominance over the neighboring beyliks would considerably increase the resource needed for future victories. Focus expansion. Focus on your army and navy, declare war on your enemies and take control of neighboring lands by force, and also expand your navy to control the seas and expand your maritime presence. So this is the description for Ottomans. What about Castile? King Alfonso XI the Avenger rules Castile without much internal opposition after establishing his dominance over the kingdom's nobility. He can now turn his attention south, where the Emirate of Granada survives as the last Islamic bastion in Iberia. His powerful ally, the Sultanate of Morocco, maintains a strategic position on the peninsula centered on Algeciras? Okay, and Ronda, allowing it to intervene from across the Strait of Gibraltar. Focus is expansion. Okay, that's pretty much the same. I love that graphic. Look at that. This is so beautiful. Ottomans. Yeah, let's take Ottomans. Let's find out. Why not? We can always change it, right? Later. Do not start the learning walkthrough at the game start. Absolutely, we have to start that. Alright, let's play something else to do. What is it? Go to the world map and select any country with custom difficulty and game rules. Ooh. Alright, I will just play in tutorial for now. Okay. Generating new game. Is that Martin Luther? Oh, there are also quotes. Rather than suffer the least damage to religion and the service of God, I would lose all my states and 100 lives if I had them. For I do not propose to be ruler of heretics. These are words by King Philip II of Spain. A letter to the Pope Pius V, 1566. Okay. Game starts right now. Okay. Hopefully it will not crash. Welcome to Europa Universalis 5. Oh my lord. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Just I'm speechless right now. That map is... This is crazy, and we don't see it at all. Look at that. Oh, it's funny. My lord. Okay. Yeah, let's start it. Nearly 5 centuries of history are about to unfold before you. As the spirit of your nation, you have the power to choose how. You could conquer the world, develop your society into a flourishing utopia, or become an unrivaled economic power. Whatever you choose to do, history is yours to control. Next. Yeah, camera controls. That's something I think I can do. So that's WASD. Scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. By holding tab, you can see an overview of the whole world. Oh, okay. So it basically goes up, and I can just cool. I can put the cursor somewhere, and it jumps there. This is so useful. Okay. Lovely. Next. Tooltips. Game concepts are highlighted in blue and contain information about specific mechanics you might encounter within the game. We could, for instance, say that you play as a country. Oh, nice. By default, nested tooltips are accessible by waiting a short time for them to lock, after which you can continue to hover tooltips inside the tooltip. You can also lock tooltips with the middle mouse button. Oh, this is so nice. This is so nice. It's so useful. Okay, love it. And I don't need to change it in the settings, by the way. This is, yeah, that's cool. I usually forget to do that. This behavior can be changed in settings. Interface, tooltip settings. Okay. To continue, do that. I have already done that. Next. Your nation. In Europa Universalis 5, you play as the spirit of the nation, an abstract representation of your country. What? The spirit of the nation? What the hell is that? You are currently playing as the Beylik of the Ottomans, a country with Orhan Bey as its ruler. Spirit of the nation. I am the spirit of the nation, right? Okay. Hello. I absolutely hate your 3D model. Jesus Christ. Why it still exists. Next. The top bar. The top bar consists of a few different elements. It will stay here at the top of your screen from now on to provide you with an overview of your country. You may also notice that there is a date in the top right. This is because the game plays out in real time. Do not worry though, we are post right now and nothing is happening. Here we have it. Fortunately, I have an GeForce overlay here. So it's not a problem though. It's better here than on the left side. What do we have here, by the way? So there we have nobility power, I guess. There is another estate, Ulama, which is clergy. Here we have burghers. Next we have commoners, so peasants, and Ottoman zimmi. No clue what's that. And Ottoman tribes as well. So these are two additional estates for the Ottoman. I think this is the specific flavor. Here we have estate power of Beylik of the Ottomans. This is quite clear. Gold. Stability, total population. It's so nice that the map changes to the population map mode instantly. Nice. Then we have legitimacy. Next we have prestige, diplomats of the Ottomans, war exhaustion, manpower, and also maximum sailors of the Ottomans. Next is current research, and then we have date. All right, we can click next. The top bar. The leftmost section of the top bar displays your estates, which are groups that hold power within a country. As a player, you are represented by the crown. We will get back to the estates later, but for now, keep in mind that every estate holds a percentage of the country's wealth. Oh, my friend actually wrote to me, asking about EU5. Well, can't say much, buddy, but definitely, that might be a blast. Where I finished? Oh, okay, I finished here. So, a state holds a percentage of the country's wealth and power and has a level of estate satisfaction that you can track on the top bar. So this is the level of satisfaction for them, not the power they have. Quickly take a look. Yeah, so we have that Guzot, which is almost 62%. It says no, it doesn't say anything here. What's current? Satisfaction equilibrium. It's 64. Okay, so it doesn't show the current value. It shows the change in the value, monthly change. Yep. And this is their satisfaction. And here we have their power. Okay, it's good to know that. The distribution of power between estates will vary from country to country, with some countries having access to unique estates altogether. Next, let us take a look at the resources and statistics in the top bar. This is the middle section of the bar, which contains the most relevant resources you will need to keep track of while governing your country. You will need to spend ducats, or we can call it gold, but fair enough, these are ducats, for many actions in this game. From paying your soldiers to building up your cities. But truly your most important resource is your population. Well, frankly speaking, in real life that's also true. So I like that. As they constitute the foundation of your politics, your economy, and your armies. Another particularly important number is your stability, a measure of your internal resilience that will help you keep your estates and population loyal, and that you can use to influence the politics of your country. We will visit the rest of the numbers when they become relevant. For now, let us continue. Click. Time. Europa Universalis 5 plays out over the course of hundreds of years. Actually 500. You can see the current date in the top right corner of the screen, which is also where you control the speed of the game. By the way, give me the other game, which spans so many years and so many changes throughout these years. Because, well, sure, you can make a game which spans, I don't know, for 1,000 years even. But you have to represent changes happening throughout this all years, throughout those centuries. We start in the middle medieval age, and imagine we end at the beginning of 19th century. So we start with very small, I mean, as an example, related with military affairs. We start with levies equipped with, I don't know, pikes, some basic swords, some bows, and so on. And very small, by the way, very small armies, like a few thousand maximum. And we end up in 19th century, where armies were absolutely massive and also professional. Massive armies, tons of gunpowder, tons of musket rifles, call them as you prefer. Evolution of artillery from catapults or trebuchets to smoothbore guns and so on. Like, I don't know, 6-pounders, 8-pounders, 12-pounders, whatever. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And this is only one aspect of the game. Now add rest of that. Buildings, population, researches, politics, internal affairs, and so on and so forth. That's huge. This is insane. All right, let's continue. So time is divided into 6 different ages. Right now we are in the Age of Traditions. Oh, by the way, it says which... Okay, we have Age of Traditions, Age of Renaissance, Age of Discovery, Age of Reformation, Age of Absolutism, and Age of Revolutions. Right now we are in the Age of Traditions, which will end in the year 1342, so in about 5 years, to give way to the Age of Renaissance. Within each age, we will have access to new advances to research. As mentioned before, the game is currently paused, so you are not missing out on anything. Fair enough. Main panels. Let us take a moment to go over some basic elements of the interface, starting with the tabs in the top left. There are 8 different panels accessible from here, which you will spend plenty of time in. They are government, economy, production, society, diplomacy, military, geopolitics. Really? There is a panel for geopolitics? And advances. Look at that. Seriously, there is a panel for geopolitics. Are they clear though? Okay, let's assume I don't know what they mean. Well, basically they are clear. The only one I would actually think of or consider what it can be, that would be geopolitics. That's simple. That's it. Rest is really clear. So I would say this is government. That's correct. The second one is economy, I guess. Yeah. The third one is buildings or production. Production. Fair enough. Then we have population. This is society. So yeah, population. Okay. Next is diplomacy. Yeah. Next one is of course military. This is pretty clear. Yeah. Now we know that geopolitics, but I wouldn't know that. And then last but not least is research. Advances. Okay. Pretty clear to me. Next. On top of the game concepts that you can find all across the game, some key game mechanics have associated hints that offer more detailed explanation along with some suggestions. Suggestions. Jesus, I cannot pronounce it. Suggestions. Okay, well, I have a hard time to pronounce it. Hints can be consulted at any moment in the hint panel. Whenever you see this icon in the tooltip, clicking it will take you to a related hint. Open the hints panel. That's the task. I think I can accomplish it actually. Boom. Next. Next. By the way, this is... Oh my god, there's so many things to do. Oh my lord. For real? Starting advice for all the Ottomans. Pop demanding goods. Lack of commander. Possible reforms. Oh my god. Close it. That's terrifying. Europa Universalis 5 is a vast game that allows for countless different playstyles and possibilities. Regardless of whether you fancy yourself a ruthless conqueror, a shrewd politician, or an administrator endowed with the touch of Midas, there are some fundamentals that every successful ruler needs to master. Let us have a look at them. I have 20 minutes already. Let's continue. As we mentioned, ducats are one of the most important resources in the game. You said that about people. Most actions cost ducats, and very often your ability to impose your will as a ruler, both outside and inside your country, will depend on the wealth you are able to concentrate into your hands. The path to global domination is paved with gold and blood. Well, I can't deny that. Most of your finances are controlled from the balance panel, so let us have a close look at it. Balance panel is an economy tab. Here we have it. This is the balance panel. Tax base is 8031. Oh my lord, we can see each and every province here. Nice. Tax efficiency. Alright. What we have here, tax farming, crown power minus 9%. Because our crown power is low. Okay, I get it. Which means that if I increase crown power, I can actually get more taxes. Probably. And this is what? This is the tax base, I guess. Not the efficiency, right? Okay, we generate 8 ducats monthly. We can take loan of 40 ducats. There's no debt. We have income about 21.23 and expenses about 13.22. And then we can adjust a lot of stuff here. Look at the amount of sliders. We can mint gold. Sorry, ducats. I know that why they call it ducats now, because there is a resource called gold, so that's pretty obvious. Then we have a Guzit tax, which is the nobility tax. Ulama tax, which is clergy. Okay, I would drag it to maximum, of course. Joking. No, I would actually maximize that if possible. Why it has increased to plus 12? I haven't changed anything. What's going on? Never mind. Burgers tax. Okay. I think they are not happy with that. Commoners tax. Oh, why do you tax burghers and commoners and you don't tax clergy? I'm gonna change that. Okay, we have Zimi tax, which is that additional group. By the way, there is a description of that. This estate represents the religious minorities in our country that are considered people of the book in Islam, usually the Christian and Jewish population, but sometimes extended to other religions. Their status and privileges can vary greatly between different countries, as do both their organization and numbers. In general, it is better for the government estate to have more power than the other estates. I expected more explanation what they are, but fair enough. So you can treat them as other religions, right? Yeah. Then we have tribes tax. It's also interesting that we have them. This estate represents the different tribes and clans present in our country. They are traditionally organized into lineages and kinship groups scattered throughout rural areas, who live and work in very diverse ways. Their distance and relative independence from the main centers of power make them difficult to govern, while their distinct customs give them a reputation as fearsome and unruly warriors. In general, it is better for the government estate to have more power than the other estates. This is pretty clear. Then we have cost of the court, which is basically, yeah, like doing parties and other nasty stuff, which can crown the army maintenance. Oh yeah, this is the most important one. By the way, they activate to automatically raise the army maintenance at the start of conflict. They activate automatically raise navy maintenance. Oh, fair enough. We can either disable or enable it. This is the same for fort. So we have army, navy, fort maintenance. Then we have diplomatic spending, which gives us what? Loyalty of subjects. What will happen if we decrease that? Should we ever need it, the amount of diplomats and diplomatic capacity at our disposal can be increased by spending extra ducats. Diplomatic spending also improves subject loyalty. Makes sense. And then it's of course stability. Probably it makes sense to increase that to not lose any of that. And then we have buildings. So we have some buildings which actually cost us some ducats, and then we have buying food as well, which costs us a little bit. Okay, next. Here you can find an overview of your balance. The difference between your income and your expenses will be added to your treasury at the end of every month. You can manipulate the different sliders in this panel to modify your monthly balance. As we just saw, the difference between your monthly income and expenses is also displayed at the top bar. This is here. So far, so clear. Most of the wealth in Europa Universalis 5 is generated on a monthly basis in the land you own. Your locations. This is the smallest unit of land in part of a province. Its base characteristics are defined by topography, vegetation, and climate. It may also contain a river. Okay, so each location has a raw good, which can be gathered by pops who live there. Buildings can be constructed in locations and also employ pops. Most locations are rural, but they can also be granted urban location status. Each location can be owned and controlled by countries, and armies can move between different locations to conquer them when there is a war. So yeah, the smallest piece of land is location. So these are locations, right? And then we have provinces. I would need to enable the map mode for provinces, I guess. Can we find it? Yeah, this is the location. What's the province though? If you click on that. Province Bolu. Yeah, exactly. Let me go back here. We will talk about locations later. For now, you can hover over the tax base number on the top left corner to see a disclosure of your richest locations. That is where the ducats are being generated in the Beylik of the Ottomans. Alright, so we know that we generate most in Bursa. Then it's Izmit and Iznik. Where is Bursa though? Okay, Bursa is over there. Here it is. Can I click on it though? Yeah, I can. I can actually click on that. Cool. I like that. So here it is. There is a city with a fort, I guess. With a port as well. Somewhat developed. It's sad that it doesn't have a specific actually, maybe it is very specific for Ottomans. I mean the army, right? Like the model for the soldiers. I'm pretty sure they will change that later. In the I mean, oh my god, what I want to say. In later patches or DLCs and so on, I think they will upgrade all of that. But yeah, that looks fine. Oh no, they have a very specific for Ottomans swords. Those smithers, or how is it called in English? Okay, so that was about taxes. Let me go over here. However, those ducats do not go directly into your treasury. As the government, you only collect a fraction of the tax base by exacting taxes from your estates. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so that's the amount that our provinces generate, but we do not get everything from that. You can set the level of taxation by adjusting the tax sliders in the budget panel. Notice how their estate satisfaction drops the more you tax them. Estates do not like taxes. So what does it say? This is tax base only. So that's the potential amount of money you can gather from the province. But of course it depends on how much you want to tax your groups. Makes sense. The maximum tax that you can set for each estate depends on many factors, like how powerful they are. Sometimes you might not be able to tax a specific estate at all. For now, we recommend you automate your taxes by clicking on the cog icon. That will tax them the just amount to keep their satisfaction over 50% as soon as you unpause the game. For real. That's sad. Can I tax you, bastards? I will tax you. Go to hell. Fortunately, I think I cannot tax you. Yeah. Okay. I can do it manually as well. Unfortunately, I have to click that. Automate taxes to all states. That sucks. But we have to do that. Yeah. Next. Monthly income. Aside from taxes, another significant source of income is minting. You can freely mint your hard's content to fix your budget, but minting too much will create inflation. And inflation will increase prices, which renders money less useful. Move the minting sliders to mint some shiny ducats. For real. That's it. Okay, I have to do that, right? Really? I don't want to do that. Okay, next. The other two most common sources of income are trade and food. Since those are more advanced concepts, we will not cover them for now. You can learn about them whenever you feel prepared in their respective hints. Trade hint and food hint. That might be a bit complicated. So you have trade. A trade is the movement of a good from one market to another. Okay, that's the very short description. What armies march on and what pops survive on. Without food, armies will suffer. Attrition and pops will suffer starvation. Food raw materials are the primary source of food, although some buildings also play a role. There are three layers involved in the production and distribution of food. Local food. Food is produced and consumed in locations, and any excess or deficit is added to the provincial food. The provincial food is the most important layer. If a province does not produce enough food to sustain the consumption of all its locations, the provincial storage will decrease. When it depletes, all locations inside the province will suffer. Starvation. Oh, I'm sorry. Will suffer starvation. Okay, this is capitalized. Doesn't matter. But before that happens, the province will try to buy food from its market. Okay, from its market. That's the country's market or the province market? Okay, market food. All provinces in the market will try. Oh, okay, that's what. Okay, that's what it means. Fair enough. All provinces in the market will try to sell food when their storage is full and try to buy food when it's low. As long as there is enough food inside the market, no one will starve. Is it automated though? Maybe. Who knows? Next, let us unpause for a bit before looking at the expenses. You can adjust the speed at which the game runs from the top bar. Speeds 3 and 4 are a good pace to start, but every player has their own preference. You can also press space to pause and unpause the game at any moment. Alright, I think this is the right time to end the first episode. This is super exciting, guys. This is like learning completely something new, and yeah, I'm glad it's already 4th of November. I'm so glad, and I hope that I will spend a lot of time with this game. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you like it, and hopefully see you in the next one, where we will continue that beautiful history as Ottomans provided by Europa Universalis 5. And also, as I've said, I may start the other series with some other country, just to get a different perspective, to learn something else in a different way, and then consolidate that knowledge and play the country which we really want, which is supposedly France, but I would like to say Brandenburg, and form the great, mighty Kingdom of Prussia. Okay, once again, thank you very much, and see you next time. Goodbye.